Alright, shalom.
Shalom.
How y'all doing this Shabbat morning?
Sawab.
Shabbat? Okay, we're gonna go ahead and get the reading. Sorry about that. I haven't set that up for a minute. We're gonna get the reading rolling. Where are we at on the reading?
We're starting at Genesis chapter 18, verse 1.
Genesis 18 and run. Go ahead and get the link out. Let's see who wants to join us live. And then we'll go ahead and go into that. Once again, some announcements are while we get this link out. We have Hanukkah coming up on the 24th?
That was the 25th.
The 24th of December to the 1st, all right, of January. So that's coming up. So y'all can join us for that. We got a few things going on. We're going to switch it up this year a little bit. We're all going to get together at a few different places and go out, get the kids to go out also. So we're gonna be doing that. We got a while. That's coming up in a while, but we're just trying to give that announcement now. All right, and of course Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays is class Sabbath morning, every morning at 10. If you're interested in joining us for class, if you want to set up the prayers, come in. The reading, you want to get all that stuff, we're going to be online or in class if you want to join us. Okay? ISBHPK Kids, if you're interested in the kids learning, we have a kids channel now. You can go on there. And the women, they just go over different topics for the children. Okay? And you know what I like about it? It prepares your kids for school, for the stuff that they're going to encounter in these wicked ass schools. So they touch on a lot of those topics dealing with the kids and trying to get the kids to lock in. All right. We have our school out in San Antonio, Texas, 4219 Centergate Street, San Antonio, Texas, 78217. If you want to join us out there. And we also have class in Albuquerque. If you want to join us for class in Albuquerque, Priest Mashaba is down there having class. So if you're interested, if you're in Albuquerque and you brothers and sisters want to get in class out there, we are having class. I was trying to look for the address. He posted that. We're trying to look it up. But I'll get the address in Albuquerque. And if you want to get a hold of us, what happened?
Just change the shop.
Oh. With the what?
Name. It says the abilities needed. It needs to be changed.
Oh, okay. All right. If you want to check out our other channel, which is Israelite School of Biblical History and Practical Knowledge, you brothers and sisters can get on there and check out our other shows. Also, the sisters do garments. If you, brother, we get a lot of people that hit us up on Facebook. I had a brother hit me up the other day about the garment, some garment I was wearing. All the sisters do all our garments. So, if you're interested in that, hit us up. Okay? The Hidden Truth 12 at Gmail. You can hit us up there. You can hit us up on Facebook. My number is 321-960-8411. All right? So, we're going to go ahead and go into today's reading. And we're going to start at we're starting at Genesis 18 verse 1. Alright? So Zion, could you? You got it? Huh?
I saved them, but I don't know if it's.
Yeah. Did you save it?
I did. But I don't know
Okay,
if
it'll
it's-
come in there. What was it, on YouTube or on screen? Let me. Go ahead, all right, start reading. Genesis 18:1.
Want me to start first?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Genesis chapter 18 and verse 1.
Go ahead.
And the Lord appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door, and bowed himself toward the ground, and said, My Lord, if now I have found favor in thy sight, pass not away, I pray thee, from thy servant. Let a little water, I pray. Let a little water, I pray you, be fetched, and wash your feet, and rest yourselves under the tree. And I will fetch a morsel of bread, and comfort ye your hearts. After that ye shall pass on. For therefore are ye come to your servant. And they said, So do as thou hast said. Verse 6. And Abraham hasted
Hand me my phone out.
into the tent unto Sarah, and said, Make ready quickly 3 measures of fine meal. Knead it, and make cakes upon the hearth. And Abraham ran unto the herd, and fetched a calf tender and good, and gave it unto a young man, and he hasted to dress it.
I forgot how.
He took butter and milk, and the calf which he had dressed, and set it before them. And he stood by them under the tree. And they did eat. And they said unto him, Where is Sarah thy wife? And he said, Behold, in the tent. And he said, I will certainly return unto thee according to the time of life. And lo, Sarah thy wife shall have a son. And Sarah heard it in the tent door which was behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old and well stricken in age.
Move over up.
And it ceased to
Zion.
be with Sarah after the manner of a woman. Therefore Sarah laughed with herself with herself, saying, After I am waxed old, shall I have pleasure, my Lord being old also? And the Lord said unto Abraham, Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I of a surety bear a child, which am old? Verse 14. Is anything too hard for the Lord? Question.
Wait a minute, we read that, didn't we? No?
No.
Okay.
We started going
We started going to. All right. Go ahead.
Wherefore did Sarah laugh, saying, Shall I surety bear a child which am old? Is there anything too hard for the Lord? At the time appointed I will return unto thee according to the time of life, and Sarah shall have a son. Then Sarah denied, saying, I laughed not. She was afraid, and he said, Nay, but thou didst laugh. And the men rose up from thence and looked towards Sodom. And Abraham went with them to bring them on the way. And the Lord said, Shall I hide from Abraham that thing which I do, seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him.
Right. All right. So y'all see what's going on here. Don't send it from your account. Send it from a regular account. Do y'all have any questions on that? The YouTube, the YouTube channel. Don't send it from your account. Resend the link. Send it out through the regular account. You don't know what I mean? It's fine. Just keep reading. We'll figure it out.
verse 18.
Go ahead.
Seeing that Abraham shall surely become a great and mighty nation, and all the nations of the earth shall be blessed in him. For I know him that we will command his children and his household after him, and they shall keep the way of the Lord to do justice and judgment, that the Lord may bring unto Abraham that which he has spoken of him. And the Lord said, because the cry of Sodom and Gomorrah is great, and because their son is very grievous. Verse 21, I will go down now and see whether they have done altogether according to the cry of it, which is come unto me, and if not, I will know. Verse 22, and the men turned their faces from thence and went towards Sodom, but Abraham stood yet before the Lord. And Abraham drew near and said, wilt thou also destroy the righteous with the wicked? Peradventure there be 50 righteous within the city. Wilt thou also destroy and not spare the place for the 50 righteous that are therein?
All right, everybody knows what's going on here?
Go ahead.
Okay, go ahead.
That's it, right? Verse what?
You're going to read to chapter 21, verse 22.
Come. Verse 24. Peradventure there was, it's like 25. That be far from thee to do after this manner, to slay the righteous with the wicked, and that the righteous should be as the wicked, that be far from thee. Shall not the judge of all the earth do right? And the Lord said, if I find in Sodom 50 righteous within the city, then I will spare all the place for their sakes. And Abram answered and said, behold, now I have taken upon me to speak unto the Lord, which am but dust and ashes. Peradventure there shall lack 5 of the 50 righteous. Wilt thou destroy all the city for lack of 5? And he said, if I find there 40 and 5, I will not destroy it. And he spake unto him yet again and said, peradventure there shall be 40 found there. And he said, I will not do it for 40's sake. And he said unto him, O let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak peradventure there shall 30 be found there. And he said, I will not do it if I find 30 there. And he said below, I have taken unto me to speak unto the Lord, peradventure there shall be 20 found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 20's sake. And he said, O let not the Lord be angry, and I will speak yet but this once, peradventure then till be found there. And he said, I will not destroy it for 10's sake. In the chapter.
Okay, you got any questions on that? I want to get this scripture real quick.
You can read from chapter 19, Genesis 19 to 22. It's 55 each. Genesis 19 to 22.
It's 2nd Ezra 7, verse 36. 2nd Ezra 7, verse 36.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 36.
Just on what we were reading. Go ahead.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 36. Then said I, Abraham, prayed first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
And Yahushai after him for Israel in the time of Achan.
And Joseph, bro.
And Joseph after him for Israel in the time of Achan.
Right. So, read it from the top. Read it one more time.
2nd Ezra chapter 7, verse 36. Then said I, Abraham, pray first for the Sodomites, and Moses for the fathers that sinned in the wilderness. And Joseph.
Right. So y'all see that?
Go ahead.
What do y'all see? Not you. Not yet. What do y'all see?
Is Abraham praying for the people that were doing bad things?
Right. Abraham prayed for the Sodomites. Y'all see that?
Go ahead.
So this whole point was that, okay, Yahweh, if there's any righteous in there, will you, for the righteous sake, save this city? You see that? So this is what the Most High is showing us, that when we go out, when we pray for the whole nation, that there be some righteous. You know what I mean? We're not going out and saying, Yahweh, just kill everybody. You know what I mean? Yahweh, everybody's gonna die. We pray for the righteous. So just to throw that in there, put things in perspective. A lot of times, brothers and sisters don't realize that it's not all cursing. It's not all cursing the people, but we're praying that the Most High save a portion, the elect. Y'all get that?
Go ahead.
But, what was that again? Second Ezra what?
2 Ezra chapter 7, verse 36.
Mm-hmm. Okay. I just wanted to show you that right there. All right, go ahead. Jump back. So where we at?
This is Genesis chapter 19 and verse 1. And there came two angels to Sodom at even, and Lot sat in the gate of Sodom, and Lot, seeing them, rose up to meet them. And he bowed himself down with the face toward the ground. And he said, Behold, now my lords, turn in, I pray you, into your servant's house, and tarry all night, and wash your feet, and ye shall rise up early and go on your ways. And they said, Nay, but we will abide in the street all night. Verse 3. And he pressed upon them greatly, and they turned in unto him, and entered into his house, and he made them a feast. And he did bake unleavened bread, and they did eat. But before they lay down, the men of the east, or the men of the city, even the men of Sodom, compassed the house round, both old and young, all the people from every quarter.
Mm-hmm.
And they called unto Lot, and said unto him, Where are the men which came in the house this night? Bring them out unto us, that we may know them. And Lot went out at the door unto them, and shut the door after him, and said, I pray you, brethren, do not so wickedly. Behold, now I have two daughters which have not known man. Let me, I pray you, bring them out unto you, and do ye to them as is good in your eyes. Only unto these men do nothing.
You know these cats, man. When we read that, it reminds me of these. They had these models, man. Damn transsexual models. And it reminds me of that. These guys look like they would
Do something like that.
they would drain a guy's butthole.
Oh.
You know what I mean? It's like they just were just like I forgot what show it was we were watching. We were watching the BET Awards, and then they called these models out, and at the end was a dude. And he was on one show. I forgot the name of the show.
Magic Johnson's son?
Oh, that guy is bad. But that's what it remind me of. You know, it remind me of those because you know, as we read down, you don't want the women, you want the men.
Mm-hmm.
That's the spirit now. That's the spirit right now in America. Is that a flaming pursuance of pushing homosexuality on the women? Like now you got all the young girls are now bi-curious or straight up just dykes, you know, or bull dykes. You know, this is the spirit, man, that's consuming, destroying. You know what? When you think about it though, as we're talking about this and everything, that this is only this is only going to affect the wicked. Because the righteous ain't going to go to that anyway. You know? They ain't going to turn to that side. But they're really pushing it on our people. But one of my other favorite scriptures that goes with the topic, Isaiah 1:9. Isaiah 1 verse 9.
Isaiah chapter 1 and verse 9.
Yeah, Isaiah 1:9. Let's read that.
Except the Lord of hosts have left unto us a very small remnant.
Unless the Most High had left us a very small remnant. There's a small portion of Israel, chosen men, women, that, go ahead.
We should have been as Sodom.
So, unless God saves a certain elect, the rushing, the pursuance of homosexuality is going to be flaming just like Sodom and Gomorrah. It's gonna eat this dang country up. It's gonna eat the world up. It ain't even this country, it's this world. Go ahead.
And we should have been like unto Gomorrah.
Right. Once again, if you don't understand what that means, because some people, you got this idea, brothers are saying that some crazy men are saying. Romans, go to Romans 1 real quick, just so we can get an idea of what he meant about Sodom and Gomorrah. And you're going to read Romans 1, and you're going to read verse 27.
Verse 27.
And
likewise also the men, leaving the natural use of the woman.
Right, so this is what Sodom and Gomorrah was on. This is very important because it says the men left the natural use of the woman. What was the natural use of the woman?
You know, be the man's wife and have babies.
Okay, what was the natural use of the woman?
A man goes into her.
There you go. A man deals with the man deals with her vagina.
Right.
Right? Now
I'm looking for that word.
they're leaving that natural use to go with a man with his anus cavity, right? Or with a woman. So listen, when we looked up sodomy, we did it 2 classes back. I thought it was on Sabbath class also. No? Might have been in regular class. But we looked up sodomy. And it's not just only men with men. It's not only just men with men. So the scriptures is defining it. When the men leaving the natural use of the woman, what is the woman used for? Yeah, we know marriage, family, house, all that, but it's talking about this sexual relation. Now you want to be with this man. Go ahead.
Burned in their lust one toward another. Men with men, working that which is unseemly, and receiving in themselves the recompense of their error which was met.
Right. Jump to 26.
Verse 26. For this cause the Most High gave them up unto vile affections. For even their women did change the natural use into that which was against nature.
Right. So now we understand what it means by if God doesn't hurry up and come back, there's going to be a lot of faggots and lesbians running around. It's going to be, to be not bisexual is going to be strange. It's going to be strange to be not bi, you know what I mean? You're not, you don't go both ways?
Right.
So protect your kids. You better feed them. You better feed them with some wisdom, because you're good. If you pumping that free, liberal mind,
Come as you are.
yeah, that don't judge, You gotta watch out for that spirit. Oh, you know what? Don't judge them. They're just that way. Bruh, your kids are not gonna be able to decipher between clean and the unclean.
Right.
And don't ignore it. Don't ignore it. Act like, hey, you know what? They ain't gonna notice. No, they notice. You see that? Then when they go to these schools, there's thought-provoking questions that they put in the kid's head. You know, they might just tell them, you know, so what do you feel you are? What do you mean? What do I feel I am? What?
They said on the news that in certain states they're starting gender neutrality.
Yeah.
And like gender education, like so kids grow up not discriminating against being
Right.
homo.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to consume Babylon, America, the world. So, once again, Isaiah 1:9, except the Lord of hosts had left us a very small remnant, we should have been as Sodom, and we should have been like unto Gomorrah. Y'all get that? Okay. Alright, so let's go back.
Come on. Genesis chapter 19 and verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
And they said, stand back. They said again, this one fellow came in to sojourn, and he will needs be a judge. Now will we deal worse with thee than with them? And they pressed sore upon the man, even Lot, and came near to break the door. Verse 10. But the men put forth their hand and pulled Lot into the house to them and shut the door. Verse 11. And they smote the men that were at the door of the house with blindness, both small and great, so that they wearied themselves to find the door.
Mm-hmm.
The men said unto Lot, Hast thou here any besides son-in-law, and thy sons, and thy daughters, and whatsoever thou hast in the city, bring them out of this place. For we will destroy this place, because the cry of them is waxed great before the face of the Lord. And the Lord has sent us to destroy it. Verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-law, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get you out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-laws. Verse 18. And when the morning arose, when the angels hasted Lot, saying, Arise, take thy wife, and thy 2 daughters, which are here, lest thou be consumed in the iniquity of the city. And while he lingered, the men laid hold upon his hand, and upon the hand of his wife, and upon the hand of his daughters. And the Lord being merciful unto him, and they brought him forth, and set him without the city. And it came to pass, when they had brought them forth abroad, that he said, Escape for thy life, like unto thee, or look not behind thee, neither stay thou in all the plain. Escape to the mountains, lest thou be consumed. And Lot said unto them, Oh, not so, my lord. Behold, now thy servant has found grace in thy sight, and thou hast magnified thy mercy which thou hast showed unto me in saving my life. And I cannot escape to the mountain, lest some evil take me, and I die. Behold, now this city is near to flee unto, and it is a little one. Oh, let me escape thither. Is it not a little one, and my soul shall live? And he said unto him, See, I have accepted thee concerning this thing also, that I will not overthrow this city, for the which thou hast spoken.
That's it.
Jump back to verse 14 real quick.
This is Genesis chapter 19 and verse 14. And Lot went out and spake unto his sons-in-laws, which married his daughters, and said, Up, get up out of this place, for the Lord will destroy this city. But he seemed as one that mocked unto his sons-in-law.
So, he sees as one that mocked, meaning they didn't listen to him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what's happening now. Same spirit. You know, you tell them, you know, don't be part of this. Don't deal with this. It's set up for us to believe the dream. We keep saying it. A thief in the night means a thief in the night. Unexpectedly. Right? So, this is only meant for your eyes, man. The brothers and sisters that are awake, that are aware. Go to Luke 17, verse 26 on down.
Luke chapter 17 and verse 6.
Luke 17, 26 on down.
17 and verse 26.
Mm-hmm.
And as it was written in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
Right.
They did eat, they drank, they married wives.
So, stop thinking the earth is going to be obliterated. Stop thinking that it's going to be Mad Max in the Thunderdome. And we're going to be just surviving on stealing gas and eating juniper roots. That's not going to happen. Read it again.
This is Genesis chapter 17 and verse 26.
No, Luke.
Luke chapter 17 and verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man.
Uh-huh.
They did eat, they drank, they married wives.
It's not going to be what you think. Stop thinking that. Because that's where the thief gets you. Walk as wise. The signs is only given for the ones that are aware and awake. So, they're eating, they're drinking, they're partying, they're dancing. Obviously, they're giving in marriage this happy times, right?
Come.
Like you go out right now and stand in the middle of that street, just sit right out there. Let's go sit in the park by yourself. It feels the most peaceful thing on earth. You know, the air, the cool breeze.
It's very deceiving.
Yeah, it's like, oh man, it's a beautiful day. But that's where the deception is, that the Most High is doing it through signs. Y'all get that?
Come.
If you're doing all these things, the world hasn't what we think ended. You see that? So these are the key scriptures, man, that we got to keep in mind. Unless the Most High saved a certain elect, right? We'll be at Sodom and Egypt. In the middle of all that, they're going to be partying, dancing, giving in marriage, right? Go ahead.
Verse 27. They did eat, they drank, they married wives. They were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark.
Mm-hmm.
And the flood came and destroyed them all.
Right. Go ahead.
Verse 28. Likewise also, as it was in the days of Lot,
right,
they did eat, they drank, they bought, they sold, they planted, they builded.
Mm-hmm.
But the same day that Lot went out of Sodom, it rained fire and brimstone from heaven.
Right.
And destroyed them all.
Right. So, y'all see that?
Come on.
That might just be a connection on there. Let me see if it cut out. All right. So where are we at?
This is actually that's it on Genesis.
Are you connected on both of your phones to the internet here?
Just this one.
Good. You got it?
Just the tablet.
Oh, okay. All right. Because if it's disconnecting, go ahead.
Second reader, it's going to be from Genesis chapter 19, verse 23, to Genesis chapter 21, verse 11. It's 55 each. 55 scriptures each.
You want to bring him up, sir?